The big ones, of course, healthcare. We started on a reform path last year. We won't be able to solve the frontline problems without doing the massive reorganization. The morale of the front lines, and my heart breaks for the kind of work environment that has been created for our frontline workers. When I hear that our nurses are getting burnt out after 2 years and leaving our system, paramedics last about 5 years on average, doctors have reduced their private practice and are not going into primary care any longer. That's why we wanted to take the approach that if you see the whites of eyes of patients, we are there to support you. You are secure. We are going to make sure we can do everything to improve the work environment. If you're a manager who has never seen a patient, maybe not so much. You got to prove that your role is one that's essential. I just can't see how we can continue on with 7 layers of managers, no one able to make a decision. The first thing I look at is jobs and economy, because that's the foundation for all of it. It's part of the reason why we have seen record influx into our province, is people see that there's good jobs, it's diversified, we've got low cost of living, we've got low taxes. And so it's important to maintain that. So that's going to continue to be a strong focus for us. And we've got some great announcements that happened this past year and more to come, tying into the green energy piece. Because one of the things that we're doing is not only developing carbon capture, utilization, and storage technology, which I think is going to make our barrels the best barrels in the world. We're also developing a hydrogen economy, which will give new life to our natural gas industry as well. But we're also developing net zero products for all the things that we need for construction. We want to be leaders in that so that we can attract people, not only on traditional energy, but new energy. So that's really foundational. And then the battle with Ottawa. I mean, I think people are now beginning to understand that there's a reason why we have to assert that we have constitutional authority over managing our resources, because I watched for the last 2 years as the federal government kept making these pronouncements about what they were going to do. Whether it's net zero houses, net zero cars, emissions caps on oil and gas, on fertilizer, on methane, it just keeps on coming. And we have to make sure that we're protecting our consumers as well, because that's another piece. If consumers don't have money in their pockets, then they're going to be really unhappy. And that's part of the reason why we're seeing the tension in the country right now around affordability. And I think it's part of our job to try to defray some of that.